Hey guys, good morning. And Mag says good morning. In fact, the whole group is around here. We got all 4 dogs. Just, I don't know why they want to hang around us this morning, but there's Charlie. He's kind of the new one to the group. Yeah. That's Eric. That's Charlie. Eric's dog. Charlie, say hi.
Hey.
That's enough. He's camera shy, not like the others. Anyway, all right, we are starting a brand new project. Super excited about this. We reached out to Trey over at Triple L Rustic Designs, and he and his father and his wife have a great channel, Triple L Rustic Designs. They make all kinds of cool stuff, charcuterie boards, and they've got a little portable sawmill that they mill down logs, and they just do some really, really cool stuff. Got a huge channel, a big following. So I reached out to Trey and said I would love to make a sign of your logo in exchange for a shout out. You guys know I've been doing that for quite a while now. So he agreed, and we're excited about doing this for them, for Trey and Larry and Zoe down there. So here's what we got. We went ahead and made the board. We're going to do this again on 2-inch redwood. We laminated the board. You guys have seen us do that before. And then we did the inkjet transfer. And I know that's going to be really glary, so I'll stand it straight up. Probably less glare. Yeah. So we did the inkjet transfer using rapid resizer, and if you want to see how we did this, there's another video that we'll put right here. So just go check it out. And but anyway, this is their logo, and we've got several different elements going on here. And you're going to see how we're going to do it. We're going to do something really special, especially on the outside, and that's what I'm going to do first. But one thing, another point I wanted to make on this. This is the logo itself that we're doing is 20 inches around, but we made the board bigger, and this is another really good reason to always make the board much bigger than what you need. We had, as we were going through and surfacing the board, we found this little spot right here, which is actually a little sappy spot. It's kind of a hole where it's got sap coming through. So we were able to push the logo up to the top and to the right for you guys, so that will end up being carved away, because this will all be background. These will be outset, and this will all be background. So had we not done that, had we had the board small, we would have had we really would have had to do a lot of fill on that. So anyway, that's another reason, one more reason. And the other thing is, you might get splits in your board. You never know when that's going to happen. So and with redwood, it happens quite often. In fact, over on one side, Ryan saw a little split starting to show up, but it's not going to affect the sign. So we're going to come right back, and we're going to get into that special thing that we're going to do on the outside saw blade. So stick with us. All right, so let's get into this special edge that I have in mind on this. What I'm going to do is, this is going to be a little bit different in several ways. In one way, I'm just going to do one small section of this, because there's so much to do. It'll take a long time to do it all on camera, but I'm going to do one section complete so you guys can see what it is we're talking about, and then we'll do the entirety of the outside off camera. So here's my plan. I'm going to take my profile bit, which I've got set at about 3/16, something like that. And I'm going to cut that black line on the outside of that circle, and then we'll take it from there. You'll find out. Here we go. So I'm just going to do a section from here to here, and we'll make sure and put it in front of the camera so you'll see exactly what's going on there. Here we go. Okay, that's the first step. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the spiral upcut, and we are going to cut on the outside of these sawtooth from here to here. Here we go. Okay guys, that's 4 passes so far, and we are, let's see, how far in are we? Let's take a look. We're about 1 inch. Look at that. We're about 1 inch in, 4 passes. That's just about what I had planned, even though I just kind of eyeballed that all the way through. I want to go down another quarter of an inch, and then 2 more passes, and we should be good. So what I'm going to do now, just to make sure, is I'm going to put some sacrifice pieces underneath my board, because I don't want to, you definitely do not want to catch that rubber mat with a turning router bit. Don't ask me how I know that, but it's not pretty. Anyway, so I'll on my second or on my last pass, I'll go through just enough to touch that cardboard, and that'll be it. All right, let's make another pass. Let's eyeball that. That should be about right. Here we go. Watch your eyes. All right, that's what we're talking about. Now, let me explain a couple things here. This bit is now sticking out of the router 1.5 inches. and the collet is almost to, and I had set it up previously just because I knew I was going to do this. Redwood's very soft, so I didn't have too much problem with deflection or chatter. But if you're cutting hardwoods, you really have to be even more careful than that. Now, what I did, the reason I took a quarter of an inch at a time, I didn't want to press it and push it too hard. That router went through it like nothing. I mean, it cut it no problem at all. The other thing that I want to say is that the flute on this router bit is only 3/4 of an inch long. It's not fluted clear up to 1.5 inches. Number one, that gives it stability so that it's not weakened beyond the flute. The flute is only 3/4 long, but you can see this is all shaft, and it's not even hot. Normally, if you do this in hardwood and stuff, it might be hot. So what happens is, even though I was 1.5 inches deep, because it was already cut, as I went through, it was cut in 1/4 of an inch at a time. Then when I got down to the last 2 or 3 passes, the shaft was riding in the groove that I had previously cut. So you don't need 1.5 inch flute length in order to cut through 1.5 inch board. You just have to make multiple passes, and it works. It works really, really well. It really is much easier than what it seems. However, you have to be aware that when you've got a bit sticking out that long out of the router, you got to be extremely careful. I've done this a time or two, so I probably make it look a little bit less stressful than it would be if you were doing it for the first time. But now we've got a nice smooth, and you'll see there are different steps in there, but we'll use our oscillating sander, spindle sander, and we'll clean all that up. So we're going to do that all the way around. But the next step that I'm going to do, I'm going to show you what we're going to do next on this. So stick with us. We'll be right back. So now we've got our 90-degree bit in, our regular background bit, and we're just going to cut these black teeth. We're going to cut those down 1/4 of an inch deep using our standard background. Here we go. That's what we're looking for. So once we get done with the whole sign, that'll all be black. So that'll be a black sawtooth blade all the way around. And again, we've got some sanding to do. But that was the idea, guys. I wanted you guys to see what that looked like.
That's going to look so cool, man.
So now, off camera, we'll go ahead and do the rest of it. So when you guys come back, this will all be done all the way around. So stick with us. We'll be right back. All right, folks. Well, it took, I don't know, I worked on probably an hour, hour and a half, but I got all of this done. And on the last scene, you saw that it had some steps in here. But what I decided to do to eliminate the sanding is I did it all with the router. So what I did was, after it was all cut out and it had the multiple steps in here from going to multiple depths, I went ahead and set my router at 3/4 of an inch deep, which is the maximum flute depth on this bit. And I went around and kind of just cleaned all those steps up. And then I went around again at a full inch and a half. And what happens is, when you set it at 1.5 inches, you get past that flute, then what happens is the shaft of the bit will ride on that smooth surface that I cleaned up, and then it cleaned up the bottom. So we have absolutely no sanding to do on the inside of any of those flutes there. So the other thing is that you'll see, if you look real close, that what I wanted a little bit more rib in here than was there, so I just kind of adjusted that as I went, and you can see I went shallower than what the layout was. I just kind of adjusted as I went. So on all of those, I wanted a little bit more. I wanted the background that we're going to do, I wanted that a little bit more of that web in there. So anyway, I just kind of adjusted that as I went, and just didn't go clear down to the bottom of those dips. Anyway, so that is that. We'll be right back, and Ryan's going to get to carving the inside of this thing. Don't mind that.
Yeah.
Just stuff falling over.
Just the wind.
The wind.
All right, we'll be right back.
Be right back.
All right, guys, so I'm going to carve, do the outset and the inset stuff in here. Dad did the hard part. He gives me the easy stuff, which I appreciate. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go around the axe handle and the axe head with the profile. Now, down here, Dad, can you see this?
Yeah.
Right here. Down here, it gets real tight. So I actually took this line and I brought it up, I don't know, maybe 1/8. Probably less than that, 1/16 or 1/8, because I want to make sure I have enough room in here. So I'm going to do the axe first, then I'm going to do the circle in one of the trees, and see how it comes out. All right, so I'm going to put my old man glasses on.
That's not old man glasses. My cheater are old man glasses. Those are middle-aged.
Yeah,
glasses.
middle-aged glasses. I never figured I'd be middle-aged.
Yeah.
All right.
I think you'd make it, huh?
No, not with how I was. Well, you know, I think you told me I wouldn't make it a few times.
Yeah, it was going to be by my hand.
Yeah.
A few times.
All right, so that's 3/16, so let's see where that's at. All right, here we go.
wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want.
Okay, guys, so a couple of things here. Dad and I were talking earlier, and especially when it comes to like round lines where down here, right, I don't have any room because the trees are going to be outset. This is all going to be open, so I don't have any room. Like up here, if I come out here a little bit and readjust, it's no problem. This is all getting carved away. But down here, this is all outset, so I don't have that luxury. So I went real shallow the first time around just to kind of get my line, and then I came back and I went a lot deeper to make sure that I had a good solid line, to make sure everything was exactly where I wanted it.
That looks really good, right?
Does it look good?
Yeah, that looks really good. And that's exactly the way to do that. And what Ryan means by it's all outset means that when you get in here, because this is outset and this is outset, this is what we call single line. So that's single line, so there's no room for error. So when you cut that shallow at first, then it gives you a little bit more way to clean it up and go back in there deeper.
Right.
That's exactly right.
And
that looks great.
And like my line here, I readjusted shallow, so I went around this shallow, and there's some bobbles you can see, just a couple areas where I'm not 100% happy with. So I'm going to go around this whole circle. I'm going to set it about this depth here, which was, I don't know, 3/16 maybe. And so we're going to do that off camera, but you can see where the tree is here, right? Now, and a couple of the videos I've mentioned that when it comes to artwork and trees, you don't have to be super rigid when it comes to the lines, which I'll admit I've been struggling with that on this one because it's a logo, it's somebody's artwork, but it's a tree. So as long as it has the branches, it looks like the tree, and it's very similar, you know, you're not going to get, it's not easier, but you can have a lot finer lines drawing on paper or doing computer logo stuff than carving in wood. So there's going to be some deviances, but not much. So we're going to go through this off camera, I'm going to go real shallow over the rest of the trees, and then I'm going to set my depth deeper and go deeper. Are we doing that on camera?
It's up to you. You're the boss.
Yeah, I'll finish this up shallow, and then we'll come back and I'll go over the trees a little bit deeper and kind of show you how that's going to look. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, so I went over everything, all the outline. I went fairly shallow with the profile bit. So now I'm going to do the circle deeper, and I'm going to go deeper on the trees. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do pretty much the same thing we do when we power carve. We're going to give ourselves a lot of room around this, because everything inside this circle, this is all going bye-bye. It's all out of here. So I'm going to go deeper around everything, and I just lost my train of thought. So that's what I'm doing.
Shut up and ride.
Yeah, that's right. All right. I'll do the circle first. All right, guys, so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm making all my cuts deeper. So I believe that is going to do it for this video. On the next one, you guys will see, hopefully we'll be able to wrap it up. We still got some stuff to do with the spiral up cut, and we got to go in and do the lettering, and then the tiny little state of Florida right here on the top of the axe handle. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. We hope you're enjoying this. If you like what you see, leave a comment. Click that little bell icon and subscribe, and you can get all of the router bits we use and our base plates and all that stuff right here at our website. Just click the card. I think that's it.
That's it?
I think so. All right, guys. Then we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.